Hey yo, I'm the MMA loser and I'm back with another video. And as 2023 is coming to an end, this is going to be the final video of 2023 and next year I'll be uploading more videos, of course. And before I start the video, please subscribe to my channel. I've got very few subscribers and I want to get to 500 subscribers, probably 1,000 subscribers in 2024. Like we want to grow. I want to grow this channel. And yeah, okay, without further ado, let us today talk about the most important awards, that is the MMA Loser Award. Yeah, you're getting my point. The name of the channel is MMA Loser. So today we are going to concentrate, we are going to talk about, we are going to give the limelight to the losers of mixed martial arts, to the losers in UFC, people who lost in UFC. It's not necessarily that they lost a lot of fights in UFC, but rather how they lost and what they lost and their chances of coming back from that fight. I mean, we are going to talk a lot about those stuff, right? At first, let us talk about this man, Paul Craig. I don't know who this ball guy is or who that other ball guy is, but I'm going to talk about Paul Craig. Look, Paul Craig is like a really, really weird individual. He has got good jiu-jitsu and he thinks that he can defeat everybody using jiu-jitsu. The same philosophy that Kron Gracie and Ryan Hall had, and they both got knocked. They both got defeated. The only good thing about Kron Gracie is that Kron Gracie did not get finished, but both Ryan Hall and Paul Craig, they both got finished. They think that their jiu-jitsu is the only thing that's going to help them win in MMA, which is, I don't know what kind of mindset that is, and that is a really, really bad mindset. But you cannot really blame someone like Paul Craig. He has submitted Magomed Ankalaev. He definitely broke the hand of Jamal Hill, who was the UFC light heavyweight champion before Alex Pereira became the light heavyweight champion. So you're getting my point. The dude is really weird. That's what I'm saying. That he needs to improve his game. I mean, he's already 35. I don't know how old he is. He's probably 40 years old at this point of time. He's close to 40. He's in the, he's in the worst side of 30. So I do not see him changing his game plan in future. So I genuinely am concerned about him because he's going to get hurt a lot. Brandon Allen finished him. I think, finished Andre Munoz or Muniz, whatever that other dude's name is. So yeah, he's another someone that we can consider in the loser category, but I'm not picking him because nobody really picks him. But Paul Craig, I kind of feel bad for the dude. Yeah, that's what I have to say, man. Paul Craig is a cool dude, but that dude needs to change his style of fighting, which is not going to happen at his age. So yeah, probably we'll see something out of Paul Craig in future. Okay, now let us talk about our second fighter in this list. I don't know. I don't know if I want to put him on this list because he has already suffered a lot in this year. But as a fan of this sport, as a fan of this guy, I kind of have to put it in there because we need to talk about Tony El Cucuy Ferguson, the man who kind of made a lot of us fall in love with this sport of mixed martial arts. I don't know what's there to say about Tony's career at this point of time. He's on a 7-fight losing streak. 7-fight losing streak, I believe. Maybe 6, maybe 7. I think he's on a 7-fight losing streak. Yes. In 2023, he fought 2 fights against Bobby King Green and Paddy Pimblett, and he lost both of them. He did manage to go the distance against Paddy Pimblett. That just says how bad Paddy Pimblett is. A man like Tony Ferguson, who got finished by both Nate Diaz and Bobby Green, who are both 40 years old at this point of time, and Paddy Pimblett could not finish him. It just shows that Paddy Pimblett is a really, really mediocre fighter, and he kind of did not deserve to be in the UFC. Maybe they're going to giving him people like Bobby Green and Tony Ferguson and a lot of these older fighters. And the moment he fights with someone like, I would say, Arman Sarukian or Mateusz Gamrot, I do not think he's at their level. Maybe Terence McKinney or Jalen Turner, even Dan Hooker for that matter. I think they're going to do a lot of bad things to Paddy Pimblett. But that's a different topic. We'll talk about that in some other video. But let us concentrate on Tony Ferguson. It's time, Tony. It's time to retire, Tony. It's enough. You have given enough damage to your body. You probably have the most amount of CTE The amount of damage that Tony Ferguson took in that fight against Justin Gaethje was horrible. Then this kick by Michael Chandler, it completely knocked him out. Look at his face. His face was completely changed. The structure of his face was changed. This was like a soccer kick to the head. And I don't know, I just feel really, really bad for Tony. I mean, it is his decision when he wants to quit this sport, but come on, it's time, dude. It's time. He just needs to retire. And he went to fight and train with David Goggins. I don't know, man. David Goggins is a really, really tough guy in a sense. He keeps running. He does a lot of exercises, but exercises do not win your fights. Fighting win your fights. And instead of fighting, Tony was training with David Goggins, which probably helped him improve his endurance, which was never really a big question about Tony. But you get my point, man. Tony should just retire. I don't want to talk too much about Tony. I just feel bad. Our third fighter in this list that I want to talk about is a fighter in the bantamweight division, the dude who actually started the year with a good win by a knockout, and later on he kept losing 2 fights. He lost 2 fights, and that man is none other than Rob Font. Yes, you guys are seeing a picture of Corey Sandhagen, because I could not find a picture of Rob Font where he wasn't posing like a winner. And this was a really, really boring fight. Corey Sandhagen was supposed to fight against Umar Nurmagomedov. Umar Nurmagomedov ended up hurting himself. And then Rob Font came in short notice and fought against Corey. And in that fight, Corey Sandhagen also deserves to be in the loser category because he gave probably a really bad performance. Nobody expected Corey to fight like a wrestler, but I mean, I get his point. It's better to wrestle against someone like Rob Font because at the end of the day, you just want to win the fight. You don't really care about how you want to win that fight, but you just want to win that fight. And I respect Cody, what was his name? Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen, yeah. I always end up messing a couple of names. But overall, a bad year for Rob Font. He had 2 losses this year. One against Davison Figueiredo, one against Corey Sandhagen. Corey Sandhagen, wow. Why the heck did I call him Cody? I don't know, dude. Corey Sandhagen. So all I can say is that Rob Font, I hope that he can bounce back and get some win in 2024 and maybe consider retirement. The dude is also getting old, and he needs to consider his other options apart from UFC, if you know what I mean by that. Okay, now let us talk about a person who probably lost really bad. He actually started the year with a win, but then he went ahead to lose in a really, really bad manner. Not exactly get knocked out, but he lost a fight where he was basically his opponent beat the hell out of him and made him look like he made him look like a mediocre fighter and made fun of his dog as well. If you know what I mean, the former middleweight champion Adesanya, the stylebender. So what happened with stylebender is he actually had a really good performance against Alex Pereira. He finally got to finish Alex Pereira and he finished him out clean. And after that, he had a really bad altercation against the DDP, that is Dricus du Plessis. And that was really, really like out of the line. He was drunk, he was intoxicated. Are you intoxicated? He was actually intoxicated. He went inside the octagon and he started using the N-word against Dricus du Plessis, which did not even make any sense because Dricus said that I'm the real African fighter. I don't think that Dricus even said that. I don't know what happened with that. Ariel Helwani might try to defend Adesanya here, which I think he should not be defended because that was out of taste. That was really weird of him to say that because he knows that Dricus cannot say that word. But Dricus actually said something really cool in there that, hey, he was saying my African brother and something. Then Dricus said that, hey, I may be African, but I'm not any brothers of yours. Look, Dricus lives in Africa. He breathes the African air. He goes through the problems that people living in Africa goes, that the economic crisis that took place in South Africa. Dricus was still in South Africa, whereas Izzy was chilling in New Zealand, right? Izzy's family is rich. It's nothing against rich people, but the dude pretends like as if he's comes from poverty and hardship. But no, the dude comes from rich, like he comes from a really good family, and he should just accept it. And then he wants to be this tough guy and whatnot. The dude is tough. Like, you're a fighter already. Like, do whatever. Like, he wants to do everything. That's his problem. I don't hate Izzy. I think he was a cool guy, but now he's just a he's a pretender. He just pretends to be something, he does stuff. He wants to appease a certain section of the society, and then he wants to appease another section of the society. The section of the society that he's trying to appease, I'm fairly certain they're not watching UFC. Then he wants to appease the other section of the society, calls them, you know what, they don't like me. When people don't like you if you touch your dog in like, yeah, that's just wrong. Do not touch your dog like the way Izzy was touching his dog. That's just wrong. And he makes a video about it. Come on, dude. And then Sean Strickland comes in short notice. Adesanya was supposed to fight with Duplessis. Duplessis got injured, could not take this fight. Then Strickland steps up in short notice, goes to Australia, beats the shit out of Adesanya in front of everybody. And the entire Australian crowd was actually cheering for Sean Strickland. In the first round, Sean knocked him down. Then for the upcoming 4 rounds, for the following 4 rounds, he just kept beating him. So that's for Israel Adesanya. He beat him so bad that Israel Adesanya got scared and said he was going to stay away for till 2027. See, he was going to almost retire from UFC after the beating that he took from Strickland. That's how bad Strickland beat him. And after the fight, Adesanya was going to Strickland and saying, don't talk about my dog, don't talk about this, and don't talk about that. Come on, dude, come on. You have the audacity to talk a lot of the way he treated Duplessis, started using the N-word because Duplessis could not say it back. Come on, he played dirty against Duplessis, and then he goes and says to Strickland that, hey, don't talk about my family and this. What the hell, dude? Grow up, be a man, and be like, you're a fighter, dude. If you're going to get hurt so much by their words, come on, after the fight. Whatever. Look, Israel Adesanya is a good fighter. He could have been one of the greatest, but all the antics that he was doing, it's just not working against him. Now, coming from one New Zealander to then Australian, this man, he started this year with a loss, then he won, and then he got knocked out, head kicked by Makhachev. I'm talking about Alexander Volkanovski, the current UFC featherweight champion, who stepped up in short notice against Makhachev, who's the current lightweight champion and one of, I think, pound for pound #1 right now. I don't know if he's pound for pound #1, but he deserves to be. He has defeated whoever they put in front of him, except for that first guy who knocked him out. Makhachev did what he has to do. In the first fight, this was a really close fight. A lot of people thought that Volkanovski win. I thought that Volkanovski lost that fight. I think Volkanovski lost that fight, but it was not exactly a bad fight. Like Volkanovski, you can argue that what Volk was really doing well, which is what I respect. Then he made Yair Rodriguez look like a newbie. He made Yair Rodriguez look like a fighter from the prelims when he was fighting against Volkanovski. Yair had no answer to his questions, to the striking of Volkanovski, to the grappling of Volkanovski. Volkanovski did not do a lot of grappling. He took him down and finished him on the ground. And after that, in the third fight, he got knocked out by Makhachev. So I kind of feel bad for Volkanovski. He's, I believe, 36, 37 years old. And he has said that he has issues with mental health because of when he does not fight, when he's not training for a fight, he kind of loses motivation. He kind of loses the purpose of life. And I feel really sad for Volkanovski. I feel bad for him. I just hope he do not turn into another Tony Ferguson or another PJ Penn, right? Or Matt Hughes. We saw so many of these fighters like Chuck Liddell. A lot of these fighters, they're still fighting till this day. They're really old. They made a lot of money, then they ended up wasting a lot of their money. And I just feel bad for him, man. I hope he finds something else to do in his life. Maybe jiu-jitsu, maybe some kind of grappling, or maybe some kind of other sport. But hey, Volkanovski, he's still the champion. I'm not saying he's not a good fighter, but I kind of feel bad for him. But yeah, he's going to fight against Ilia Topuria, which we need to see what happens in that fight against Ilia. I think Ilia can take that win. He can take the W, but we'll see. But I'm not putting Volk in the list in a higher number because he still has a belt. So yeah. Now let's talk about someone who might have been on the worst end of receiving the worst things in 2023. That man is Beneil Dariush, one of the nicest fighters, one of the nicest guys in UFC. Everybody talks about him and how nice he is. And he is a nice guy. He's always there. He always shows up, fights. And whoever they put in front of him, even though he's really old, he always takes them with a smile. And then he loses, man. He got finished by Charles Oliveira in the beginning of this year. Then recently he got knocked out by Arman Sarukian, like knocked out clean. And at the age of 36, 35, whatever, however old Beneil is, I just do not see him becoming the champion. I do not see him bouncing back. And maybe he can defeat, like he has defeated Cameron and he has defeated other fighters. He might fight against Dustin Poirier or something, or maybe, I don't know. Arman Sarukian had a really great performance against Beneil. Like that fight probably lasted only a minute or something, and he won against Dariush like fair square, right? I don't know what more can I talk about Beneil. Really nice guy, really good fighter, but it's just that he's not fit for the top five. Like he can't really, I just don't see him becoming a champion. If I think Makachev would have done something similar to him, and yeah, I just feel bad for Beneil, man. I don't know if I want to talk too much about him because I genuinely like this guy, and I do not really have anything bad to say about Beneil Dariush. It's just that it kind of sucks to be a fan of Beneil at this point of time, that he keeps losing. I just hope he does not turn into another Tony Ferguson. Okay, let us talk about the top two right now. And this person that I'm going to talk about, he actually did not lose a fight in UFC or this year, or he has never lost a fight in MMA in his entire career. But he has lost a lot of fans and he lost a lot of dignity as a man, as a person. And that man is none other than this dude. The guy whose wife's ex-husband is still in touch with her, still in touch with them, and he's okay with it, which is, I think, is kind of wrong. I mean, I don't know, dude. I'm not married or anything. Look, I'm not going to talk about that. But the thing is, I'm 23 years old and Ian is 26. I respect the things that Ian has done in his career, but he has also made a really big mistake of getting into a whatever. I'm not going to talk about his personal life. You know what? I'm not going to go too deep into it. We already know about his relationship and whatever is going on with his wife and her ex-husband and everything. Sean Strickland already I think MMA Guru made an expose about it. Sean Strickland has talked about it. The entire MMA community has talked about it. But the problem is the dude doesn't know how to take a punch. I'm not talking about a physical one, but a metaphorical one, a lyrical punch, if you may say so. He literally did not fight in the UFC 296, that where he was supposed to fight. Everybody would have taken a piece out of him. Everybody would have said something bad about him in the press conference. He would have been roasted. He would have been destroyed in the press conference. So Ian Garry just decided that he was going to quit. He said he had pneumonia and he quit. He said that people are threatening his family. Nobody is threatening his family. Nobody is threatening him. People were just trying to point out the obvious that was going on with him. And I've said this before in the channel. I feel bad for him, actually. He's very young. He's probably 2 or 3 years older than me. So I know my brain is not exactly that developed for me to be figuring out what the world is thinking about me. Like nobody figures out life at the age of 23, 25. Maybe if you're like a genius or something, maybe you're some extraordinary human being, you do. But this seems like a case of Joshua Fabia and Diego Sanchez. I'm not mentioning any names apart from that, but you know what happened between Joshua Fabia and Diego Sanchez, how Joshua Fabia was pretty much becoming like a parasite and for Diego Sanchez, and he was just doing all the wrong thing against Diego, and Diego just, Diego's career went downhill. Diego had no money. Diego was completely lost. His family probably left him and everything. Even Garry doesn't have a place to train. I don't know where he's training. He's probably training somewhere in Brazil. And the thing is, with Ian Garry, people started hating him because when he said something bad about Neil Magny, about his son, and Neil Magny is apparently, he's actually also going through, allegedly, or I'm not sure about it, but he's going through some custody battles with his wife or his ex-wife or girlfriend, I don't know, about his children. And Ian Garry said something that Neil Magny beats his own children and whatnot. I mean, I'm not from America, and for me, my parents beat the shit out of me. Maybe Ian's parents should have beaten the shit out of him so that he did not grow up to be a person who cannot take that punch. I mean, of course, I'm young and Ian is young, so he responds like a young person, but you also need to be able to take a punch. He wants to be like Conor McGregor. Well, whenever something bad was said about Conor McGregor, he would reply back with an insult. He would probably enjoy it. Conor was always there in every press conference. Even though he was losing, he was winning. I don't know. I'm not talking about this Conor that is completely drunk and does a lot of weird stuff. I'm talking about the young, motivated McGregor. The young, motivated McGregor, you can put I don't know, King Kong in front of him, and he'll say something bad about King Kong, because that's how young Conor McGregor rolled. That's how he built a brand about himself, and you got to respect Conor McGregor for that. And now, when people have something bad to say about Ian Garry, he's just running away. He's quitting. He's like, yeah, you know what? You cannot say something bad about me. I'll sue you and this and that. Come on, man. That's kind of wrong. You're in a business where people are allowing you to beat the hell out of your opponent, and you can do that inside a octagon. You could do that inside a cage. And then why do you want to sue somebody? I mean, it's a different thing if someone actually threatened him, someone actually was at his doorstep, like if he had actual threat of life or property from that individual, then I understand you can go to the police for protection. But nobody's doing that to him. They're just pointing out the flaws in his relationship, and he has a problem with that. Come on, dude. And then he had Jeff Neal's mugshot he was wearing a mugshot of Jeff Neal and whatnot, dude. The dude is corny. He thinks that, like, I don't know, he seems like whatever stupid stuff that goes on our head, he tries to do that. And then when it backfires, he just wants to cry and just be like, yeah, I can make fun of you, but you cannot make fun of me. That's just wrong. I mean, whatever, he's number 2 in the losers list because he did not lose a fight. I'm not putting him at number 1, and he's young. There's a good chance that he can bounce back from this. I'm not going to say that he'll ever be a likable fighter, but he can actually win. If he keeps winning, then he can be someone that people do not like, and he still can make a lot of money out of it. He can turn a complete heel and make a lot of money out of it. See, I'm giving him ideas. He probably might not like it. He should turn into a heel, like a real proper heel, but I don't think he has that mental attitude to turn into a heel. Now, let us talk about someone from Ian Garry who actually is a heel. He's probably the biggest heel in UFC, but that heel turns into a loser. And he's probably the biggest sore loser in UFC. And yeah, recently he had like the worst performance of anybody that I've seen. That's none other than this dude, Coby Covington. Chaos. The only chaos that we saw in that arena was when Dricus du Plessis and Sean Strickland got into a fight. Yeah, I think Sean Strickland probably threw more punches than Coby Covington in that fight. Sean Strickland is what Coby Covington thinks that he is. Sean Strickland is what Coby Covington wants to be. Coby calls himself a patriot, and he said that he was representing America and whatnot. But no, the dude was not representing America. If that's how you represent America, then I'm worried about you, America. Then I'm worried for America. That's not how you represent America, by getting beaten up for 4 rounds, and in the last round you try to take down Leon and just did not do anything. He did not even go for a submission. He just laid on top of Leon Edwards, and then he raised up his hands, and he was as if he was winning. And then when you lose a fight and you go ahead and blame it on people for not supporting Trump, come on. Even Trump was like, who the hell is this dude? I should not have been here. This dude is really annoying. He completely loses fights. Every time I'm here to see his fights, he's completely losing. That's how bad Coby Covington was. Even Trump was running away from him. Like, even Trump thought, okay, if this is how, you know what, Donald Trump has a better chance of becoming a president than Coby Covington has becoming a champion. Like, Coby Covington is not going to become the UFC champion ever. He's not going to become a world champion ever. He's already 35, 36 years old. He was on a 2-year layoff. He had the best opportunity against Leon Edwards, a person who's, like, he could have wrestled with Leon Edwards for 4 rounds or 5 rounds. At least do something. The dude was, like, really helpless. He was helpless in there. He could not even land a couple of punches. He probably landed a couple of punches in the second round. And in the last round, of course, he took Leon down and did not do anything to him on the ground. Just laid on the ground. And like, it was a bad performance. After all the smack, after all the trash talking that he has done over the years, that I'm this, I'm that, the best thing about Coby Covington in his entire career, people are going to remember Coby Covington for all the losses that he has had against Kamaru Usman. People are going to remember Coby Covington for the losses against Kamaru Usman. People are going to remember Coby Covington for that atrocious performance that he gave against Leon Edwards. They're not going to remember Coby Covington for a good fighter. I mean, Coby Covington defeated RDA, Robbie Lawler, Old Man Robbie, Old Man RDA. Then who else did he defeat? I think he defeated Tyron Woodley when Tyron Woodley was about to retire from UFC. That is when he defeated Tyron. So all I'm saying is that Coby Covington, I think his ship is sailed. His ship is drowned. It's not even sailed. It's drowning. It's sinking. He's drowning. His ship is shrinking. Sinking, not shrinking. Yeah, his ship is sinking in the ocean, and he just needs to retire. his biggest brand was that he used to talk trash, and now he has the audacity to call his fans his trash. Come on. Was I a fan of Coby Covington? Not exactly. I just like the fact that the dude used to talk smack. But most of his smack was also not really at the level of Sean Strickland or Conor or Chael. Because Coby fumbles his line, and like, look, I don't have a problem if you talk trash in UFC. I think it is your decision to do that or not do that, not to do that. If it makes you, if it makes the other fighter, if you can get into the skin of the other fighter, then I'm okay with it. But he did not get inside the skin of Leon Edwards. The only thing that he got inside that day was probably inside the hospital. Yeah, after the beating that he took from Leon Edwards. His legs were limping and whatnot. The dude, like, come on, man. He is a really, really bad loser. Then he goes ahead and he just talks a lot of nonsense. He goes to various podcasts after losing. Then he goes about and talks nonsense. You know what? These people did not support this thing. They're this, they're that. Come on, dude. You're a loser. I respect fighters. Like, I can accept when fighters are like, if it was a really close fight, and then they go forward and then they say, you know what, I lost that fight because the judges were. I understand if it was a close fight, right? That what was that fight? I believe Dominic Reyes versus John Jones. I understand if Dominic Reyes believes that he won against it. I mean, that's his opinion. He kind of had that. But Coby, come on, dude, you did not win a single round against Leon Edwards. He can hate whoever he wants. You can hate, and I don't care if you're a Coby fan or not. I like Coby because he was a hard worker. Like, there was no hard work in him. There was no toughness in him when he fought against Leon. He quit. He quit in there when he fought against Leon. He just had a good last round against Leon and just landed on top of him and did nothing. But apart from that, he just kept losing. So I don't know, man. I don't care, dude. So yes, I guess this is my list of UFC biggest losers of the year 2023, the MMA Loser Awards. And as you know, the name of the channel is MMA Loser, so we should concentrate more on the losers a bit. Not exactly, dude. I'm not going to concentrate more on the losers. Of course, I'm going to make a video of losers only towards the end of the year, like I made this one. But normally we are going to talk about winners because that's how the world works. We talk about winners. And I guess that's the list. I'm going to repeat the list once again. Adesanya is a loser. Volkanovski because he lost against Makhachev twice. And then we got Beneil Dariush because of all the losses that he took against Oliveira and Arman Sarukian. And Ian Garry for whatever he has done outside the octagon, not inside the octagon. I think he can still bounce back because he's a young fighter. And then we got Rob Font because of his bad performances. I would say his good performance, but bad performance against Corey Sandhagen. He just had tough fights, tough luck. Tony Ferguson should retire. That's it. He should retire. He should go away from UFC. He should concentrate on something else in his life. Maybe become a carpenter because that's what he loves apparently. Or maybe play baseball. Who knows? Paul Craig, I don't know, dude, what you do with him because he's got good jiu-jitsu and everything else is bad. And of course, the biggest loser of UFC 2023, I don't think he can ever bounce back. That is Coby Covington. I do not see him becoming a champion at the age of 38, 39. So he should just simply retire. Okay. I guess that is it, guys, for this video. And yeah, this is the end of the year 2023. I got a couple of subscribers this year. And I don't know, man, what to say about this and that. I hope to keep making these videos. And in 2024, probably I'll get a few more subscribers. And yeah. Happy New Year's, guys. Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year. Whenever you're going to watch this, I'm recording this on 31st of December. So by the time you guys watch it, it'll probably be New Year. So yeah, Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year. And before I end the video, please subscribe to my channel. I've got very few subscribers. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. That's my goal. And if you enjoyed the video, drop a like and please share the video among people who you think might appreciate this video, that is MMA fans. And write it in the comment section if you agree with my list or you disagree. And yes, peace out, guys. Peace out.